Let's talk some more Yanks and bring in Jastremski and Licata for Homeschooled. Sal, let's start with you. How alarmed should the Yankees be to hear Judge talk about his contract situation?
I don't think they should be alarmed, but they should also understand that, Aaron Judge is not necessarily going to give them any discounts. If they want to lock up Aaron Judge long term, they're going to have to pay him what he's worth. And when you get as close to he is as now being a free agent, you might as well, look, if I'm Judge, I'm testing the waters. I'm sorry, you had a chance to lock me up. You didn't do it. I'm this close to free agency. You know what? I'm going to dip my toe in the free agent water and see what's out there. So I don't think they should be alarmed, but they know going in, Michelle, they're going to have to pay what Aaron Judge is worth. He's not going to give them, as much as he may want to be a Yankee for the rest of his life, he's not going to give them any hometown discount.
Sal, you nailed it. You remember Jerry Maguire, show me the money. Show me the money. That's what Aaron Judge is going to be screaming at the New York Yankees, assuming he has a full and a productive 2022 season. But the reason I'm not up in arms yet from a Yankee standpoint is all of this uncertainty going on with the CBA. It would be borderline impossible. I saw a couple of knuckleheads tweeting, oh, the Yankees should have extended a month ago, 2 months ago. How can you do that not knowing what the parameters of the CBA are going to be? I guarantee you, once we get this straightened out, the Yankees and Judge will sit down. But to Sal's point, I think Aaron Judge is going to be a free agent. Yankees are going to have to pay him. And it comes down to, well, the years, because I want Aaron Judge back with the Yankees. 10-year contract, though, 9-year contract. That's where it could get very, very dicey.
You're right. And, JJ, baseball could be back as early as March 31st. Wishful thinking. But how much more pressure does this put on the Yankees to get something done?
Yeah, I think, look, there's pressure because he's your best player. He's your face of the franchise. And I think the Yankees are aware of that. All the 99 jerseys, the Judge's chambers, the idea that he could be the future captain of this Yankee team. Look, I think Aaron Judge means a lot more to the Yankees than just the back of the baseball card. He's the heart and soul of the team. And I do think at the end of the day, they're going to take care of him. The problem is, you look, they got Giancarlo Stanton here for a bunch of years. Garrett Cole's going to be here for a bunch of years. You're not going to be in love with the idea of giving Judge 8-9 years if he's, dare I say, not going to play. If he plays the way he did last year, Sal, I got no problem giving him a contract like that. And I think the Yankees, their hands are kind of tied. They got to do it.
And yeah, they might have to, JJ, because you may not love the 9 or 10-year deal. And I don't necessarily love that, not just with Judge, but with players in general. But if you want these guys, you're going to have to give them a 10-year deal. Somebody is going to go out there and pay Aaron Judge 10 years, whatever, $300 million or over that he's going to get on the open market. So the Yankees have to realize that he is more valuable to them and what he's worth. And maybe he does say, okay, well, I'll take a little bit less than I could get if I went to Seattle or whatever team it may be out there. But they're going to have to pay. And that's what the star players are getting, the 10-year plus deals for over $300 million. It's going to be costly for the Yankees, which I'm sure played a part or will continue to play a part in why they didn't go out there and get a big-time shortstop and why I wouldn't think it's likely that they're going to go get Carlos Correa. So Yankees are going to, I would be stunned if they lost Aaron Judge. I don't think this is a Robinson-Cano situation. They know how important Aaron Judge is, even dealing with all the injuries. Production has never been an issue. The face of the franchise, he's still a young stud, in the prime of his career. The Yankees will eventually come to terms with Aaron Judge.
I guess we'll find out. Obviously, they can't do much until this lockout is over. So more on that later. Thank you guys so much.